Production support for In Focus is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Religious rituals, beliefs, and practices take on many forms in different cultures. From religious crusades, extremist theologies, and secular beliefs, religion has played a complicated role in our society for many years. Over the last 60 years, the percentage of agnostic or atheist Americans has increased from just over 2% to almost 12%. Debates over tolerance, atheism, and the separation of church and state are concerns for many Americans. Tonight, we put faith in focus. Hi, I'm Shea, and welcome to this month's In Focus. Tonight we'll discuss the roles of religion and faith in our society, and we want to hear from you by phone, 1-800-987-9848, or email us at infocus@indiana.edu, and we will get your questions on the air. The globalization of religion has impacted every facet of human society for centuries. Meanwhile, the recent war on terror and its Islamic overtones has some experts discussing tolerance, discrimination, and America's perception of faith. Here's Shamika Neely with more.
The recent attack at Fort Hood, memories of September 11th, and 2 ongoing foreign wars have made it imperative to understand religious and cultural differences.
I feel like September 11 has created this renewed interest in religion. Second is, whether we are part of this or not, organized religion is here to stay. Look at the huge mega churches, in the South. So religion is no longer about church. Religion is it's part of the modern economy. People are buying based on their religious loyalties. There are businesses that call themselves Christian, right? So whether we like it or not, organized religion is here. And it's a big part of certain regions of America.
All religion has some similarities. Of course, there's a differentiation. The similarity is, you have to be a good person. How to benefit the society, how to protect the, environmentally nature. Those all in Buddhist all-time emphasis.
Paramis Yuan says escaping religious persecution is the reason many Europeans came to the United States, but she feels religion often takes a back seat during public discussion.
Even though we call ourselves secular, that many of the ways in which we think about good or bad, many of the principles we hold dear, many of the ways in which we conduct our lives as modern professionals, we are drawing from religion.
Compassion and wisdom are a few of the Buddhist principles which Rinpoche believes all religions should embrace.
Yeah, our goal is that, whole religion should work together and share their goodness and benefit the society, benefit the country, benefit the environmentally protect and everything.
Tonight, we discuss tolerance, religious values, and tradition as we put faith in focus.
And as always, my co-host is WFIU News Director Stan Jastrzebski. Stan, who do you have in the radio studio tonight?
And we'll talk by phone with Dan Barker. He's the head of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. And we'll talk live in studio with Candy Gunther Brown. She's a professor in the Indiana University Religious Studies Department. That comes up in a few minutes. Right now, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Stan. Our first topic deals with the diversity of faith and traditions and commonalities. Joining me tonight on our panel, Dr. Faiz Rahman, President of the Executive Committee of the Islamic Center, Rabbi Sue Shifron, Executive Director from the Helene G. Simon Hillel Center in Bloomington, and Reverend Dennis Laffoon, pastor of Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church in New Albany, Indiana. It's quite a mouthful. Got it out. Thank you all so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. it. First of all, I just would like to start off the conversation talking about the role of faith in our society today. And Dennis, why don't I start with you down and move down the line here, and how do you see it today as how we're moving into this new century and where faith really fits into our society?
I think right now faith, the institutions of faith and the exploration of one's personal faith provides a hope that you can't get anywhere else. When people are worried about where their next meal is going to come from, or where the next job is going to come from, when we get together, as many times as we get together, not just on Sunday mornings, it does provide a hope that comes from nowhere else.
Sue?
I think that faith and religion provides an important community for which people can gain support, values, ethics, morals, a way to live one's life, as well as a way to make the world a better place, a community with which to care about the world more and to care more about the community and those around us.
Faiz?
Well, coming from another place and living in this country for the last almost 20 years, what I noticed is that I think in America, people more are aware about or concerned about spirituality rather than organized religion as it is seen in many other parts of the world. That's what my take is, that more people are concerned, aware about being spiritual than religious. Now I may be wrong, but that's what I
That's a very interesting take. What do you think about the public discourse on religion in our country? I mean, we saw this within the last election. We've seen it in the past few elections, not just this last presidential election. But the public discourse of faith and what we do believe, do you think that should be a part of the American tradition and American culture? Sue?
I think that we have to be really careful to realize that there are a variety of different faiths within the community and within the culture and within this country. So I think that it plays an important role, and it should play an important role as long as there's respect, tolerance, understanding, and that we don't feel that one religious tradition is the only one for this country.
What would you say to that, Dennis?
I think people need to be free and forthcoming with what their personal beliefs are, but I also think that there's a good amount of fear that exists that keeps people from doing so. And so even, especially in the political sphere, I can understand that there is some reservation with sharing one's personal beliefs because of the fear that exists.
Speaking about fear, Faiz, let's go to you. In terms of the latest incident with Fort Hood and that discourse that is going on, is that part of those who actually study Islam and in this country, is there that sense of fear to this day of being open about their religion in this country?
So fear in terms of what, Muslims being afraid?
No, yes, exactly.
Well, what I have noticed in last, 2 weeks almost after the Fort Hood event, that there are two types of things. One is most of the major American Muslim organizations are being vocal, saying that what this person did is whatever his idea was, that that's not what most of the Muslims belief is, and so forth. So I think this is one side, that they're trying to come out and say that this is not what we believe in. And then there's also, I have noticed the fear side of it, that some people are concerned that what may happen, is there a backlash or something like that. So I think that both of those are there. My personal take on this is, and being in charge of the local mosque at this moment, is that especially in the American mosques, I think there should be more open discussion about this issue, that just because somebody's doing it and hiding it, or just saying that, okay, I don't belong to that or something, is not enough. There has to be more discussion, more open education, and even to the children, saying that, okay, this is what's happening and this should not be, and so forth. So I think these are opportunities to open up discussion among themselves and also mosques versus the society.
Have more of an open communication. Okay, let's stop right there.